Hello everyone, it's me again. Today I'm going to talk about how we can prevent mass shootings in the future. Now, a lot of people want gun control and banning these big assault rifles so people won't be able to kill scores of people. But the truth is, very few people are killed by rifles in homicides, assault rifle or otherwise. More people are killed by blunt objects than by assault rifles. More people are killed by knives than by assault rifles. And, most gun-related murders occur with handguns. And, contrary to popular belief, you can get a mass slaughter with only a handgun. It happened at Virginia Tech, and it happened at Fort Hood. If you get a closed-in space like a classroom or an office building or a movie theater where there's a lot of people crammed in and no real place to go, that is a recipe for a slaughter. Because at Virginia Tech, Cho, I can't pronounce his full name, but Cho managed to kill more people than Nicholas Cruz. And what we see here is that with the geographical range, the more geographical range these shooters have, the less people they generally kill. Sort of like Elliot Rodger. He had a huge geographical range and a very low kill tally. A total of only 6 people deceased. And, anyway, there are several things we can do. As far as, putting armed guards on the campus, frankly, they need to be, if they're going to do that, they need to be up-armed, like with long guns, assault rifles and shotguns. And, not just pistols, and they need to be wearing body armor. And, so, anyway, another thing that we have to cut down on is identifying people that are socially isolated and helping them find purpose, help them to find a reason to live. And that would cut down on school shootings, because these shooters, whether they be at a school or otherwise, they're not happy people. I mean, think about it. How miserable do you have to be to do something that will destroy your life? I mean, most of them commit suicide, and if they don't, they spend the rest of their lives in prison most of the time. The overwhelming majority of the time. There's been a few that have gone to a mental hospital and then been released a few decades later. But anyway, you're committing an act that will result in your death, your sentence to death, or life imprisonment with no chance of parole. So basically, that act will destroy your life. How miserable do you have to be to do that? And how bad do you have to hate the world to destroy your life? Destroy your life for a chance to hurt the world as bad as you can. And, it's like, I don't think safe spaces are going to stop bullying. What will stop bullying is a good punch to the face. I mean, granted, there are bullies that like to fight, but they don't like to get their ass whooped, trust me. And all this stuff trying to make kids terrified of hitting back, like taking them to jail, and they'll actually take kids to jail now for fighting in school. My God, this is just such a wuss society. And, well, a lot of times these kids that have it all bubbled up, the more it's like the Hoover Dam breaking open. It's just, a whole bunch of shit just coming out. And I think that, this huge orgy of, destruction is, they don't just happen, they're years in the making. And so what we need to do is it's like, there's not a whole lot we can do to these shooters unless you want to alter the Constitution a little bit until they commit a crime. Because there's this thing called the Bill of Rights that says you can't do anything to anyone until they commit a crime. And this isn't Minority Report, people. It's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. And anyway, there are so many other things that need to be done. It's like, they want to blame violent video games, they want to blame assault rifles, they want to blame the NRA, they want to blame, a whole bunch of things. They want to blame bullying. God, the list just goes on and on and on forever. But the truth is that these are unhappy people. And that's the problem at its source. They are unhappy people who hate the world. And it's like we need to figure out how to simply say that, your life is, we need to give these people a reason to live. And if they have a reason to live, they won't do what they do. They need to have joy. And it's basically, a lot of them do it because of the fear that they are nobody. I mean, think about it. All these people that kicked dirt in their face, they will fear them. And people that ignored them, they'll be burned into their memories forever. So it's like people that, didn't really think much of you are going to see you on every news channel forever. Well, not forever, but, for at least a month. And, people are all over the world are going to be talking about your horrific deeds. And there's a lot of different things. It's like, they come into play, narcissism and all that stuff. It's like they want to raise the age to buy a firearm to 21. Truth is, a lot of these shooters were older than 21. Stephen Paddock was older than 21. Omar Manton was over 21. Charles Whitman was over 21. The list just goes on and on and on. And that's not going to stop them from stealing weapons either, like Adam Lanza stole his mom's gun. Anyway, after he killed her, by the way. And, stopping a spree killing is going to be a lot more difficult than doing this or doing that. It's going to have to take a lot of studies and a lot of work. And also, it's not the problem that people make it out to be. I mean, sure, a lot of these things are tragic and they're horrible. But, they don't kill all that many people. Overall, in the grand scheme of things. They may be significantly big and worthy of a news story. Big news story and all that stuff. But in reality, they only account for a very small percentage of murders that occur in this country every year. And So we need to start with the bigger issues and work our way down. If you ask me, gang violence needs to be a bigger priority than school shooters, because it kills way more people, including a lot of innocents, because remember, these gangbangers, they usually aren't as good as shots, as good at marksmanship as Charles Whitman was, or whatever. They usually suck, they shoot a lot of bullets, they don't hit their target, and they hit somebody else, and that person sadly dies. Anyway, I've said my piece on this, but anyway, will conclude my video now. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See y'all next time.